welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christina, also known as the Cozy Knitter, and it is finally December. Today is December 1st. That means the countdown to Christmas has begun. It is officially Advent season, and I thought that for the first time I would attempt to do Vlogmas this year. I thought it could be so much fun to bring you guys along and show you how we as a family prepare for Christmas. So I live in just outside Toronto in Canada with my husband and our 5 kids. They're all boys. There's no twins. They're all about 2 years apart. We get asked these questions every time we're in public, so I might as well clear that up. I thought it would be really fun to bring you along as we get our tree. I'm hoping we get to go sledding at some point. We've got some decorations to do. We've got lots of holiday baking to do. Again, if you're new here, you probably don't know, but I was born and raised in Denmark, and I actually, for a short stint, worked in a Danish bakery. So I would really like to share our traditions with you and sort of just show you what makes the holiday season special for us. And one of the first things that I want to touch on is the 24 stripe Advent skein, which is my version of an Advent calendar. Several years ago, I feel it's been about 5 years or so since I saw the first mini skein Advent calendar being released, and I thought a couple years ago, I thought to myself, you know, why don't I do a 24 stripe skein, something a little bit more affordable and a smaller project that people might actually have time to knit on and work on and complete in December. So that's sort of how the Advent skein was born. And the first time I did it was in 2018. And I think there was about 400 knitters that took part in it that year. And in 2019, we were close to, I want to say 900. And this year we're actually closing in on 1,500 knitters. So the day's finally here. We can crack open that packaging, we can peek, we can wind up the yarn, we can start knitting, and I'm really excited to cast on with you guys and sort of enjoy a few quiet moments together through this, which is usually a pretty hectic month, but I don't know where everybody else is, but where we are, with the restrictions in place, it should be a slower month than what we're used to. So it really makes me happy to just sort of have a project to sit and work on and find a quiet moment and just enjoy the season. I had posted on my Instagram the other day on Sunday, the first Sunday of Advent. I posted a picture of my project, which lives in my Holiday Bears bag. This is by Sandy of By the Lakeside, and I had wound up my mini skein. So my mini skein, it is just an undyed mini of my shimmer base. So it has a little bit of silver stellina in it, and that's what I'm going to be using for my heels, cuffs, and toes. And I had posted the other day I was ready to cast on. Now I didn't quite get my cuff done. This is where I am, right there. That's all I got done so far. I still have a few more rounds to go before I'm ready to cast on the first stripe. So before I show you the 2020 skein, I thought it could be fun to go down memory lane a little bit, because I believe there's a few of you who has done the Advent skein with me every year. So this here is a half skein from 2018. These were the colors in the 2018 skein. And what I learned from 2018 was these stripes here are only about 4 rows on a 64 stitch sock, and knitting 24 stripes only gives you about a shorty sock. So for 2019, I changed the stripes to be a little bit wider. So the stripes are now about 5 to 6 rows on a 64 stitch sock. And this here is the 2019 skein. And so this here is actually also 2 half skeins. If you take the cover off and you untwist it, they're tied together as 2 separate half skeins. This year, for 2020, I wound them up separately. So this here is our 2020 Advent skein. So they're twisted separately, 2 half skein. Each half skein has 2 repeats of 24 stripes. So for me, this is enough to knit 2 full pairs of socks. And that is because, like I said, I'm using the contrasting yarn for the heels, toes, and the mini. So I wear women's size 8. I knit 64 stitches, and I'm using my favorite sock needles, which is the Signature Needle Arts 2.25 DPNs. I've tried Magic Loop, I've tried the 9-inch Circ, but I always come back to these guys. And with the contrasting skein, I have enough to make like a mid-calf length sock for me. So I don't know if I will do mine a little bit taller this year, or if I will do a second project with my leftover yarn. I've seen people do fingerless mittens or hats, or even put the remainder into like a scrappy project, like a granny stripe blanket or your cozy memories blanket. So I might do that. We'll see. So I'm just about to wind these guys up and knit the last probably like 5 or so rows of my cuff, and then I'm gonna cast this on. So I will definitely be sharing that with you as I move through this month, and I can't wait to see everybody else as you're knitting yours as well. So in the skein band, when you get your advent skein, there is a little note on the inside. I was just seeing if I had one laying around. And there's a hashtag as well. So the hashtag for this year's Advent skein is TCK Advent 2020. And that way it just makes it easy for everybody to see how everyone is doing and what other projects people might be doing with their skein. So that's really exciting. And then a few other things that I wanted to share as well is I have this book. This is a book my mom sent me. It's called Julebogen. It is a Danish book, and it's actually written by a girl that I went to school with. And she is an illustrator. So she has illustrated this book. It's really quite nice. Like there's lots of like illustrations and things in here that she has done. And she sort of divided it into the 24 days of Advent and little things that you would do traditionally in Danish tradition. So there's things in here about like different things, baking and crafts. There's some knitting projects in here. So I'm gonna look through this book as well throughout the month and see if there's a few things from here that I can share with you. So I think that could be really fun. I will definitely be baking my grandmother's cookies one day. This is a recipe that was passed down from my father's mother, and I'm not even sure where she got it from, but I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. It makes an awful lot of cookies though, so I'm definitely gonna need the boys' help with that. And I think that's it for now. I have a few things that I need to do. Today is December 1st, and if you're in my club, you already know what happened, but I have my Yard of the Month club from November that needs to be mailed out today, as well as a few other orders, so I'll be headed out to do that shortly. I'm just looking out the window, and we do have snow at the moment, so I'm hoping the roads aren't too bad because we haven't had a chance to get our snow tires put on yet. But I will check in with you guys again later, and I hope you have several hours later. Today turned out to be a really busy work day. I got a lot of orders packed and my club was shipped out, and I had a lot of questions on Instagram about the Advent skein and which pattern to knit, and I was answering a lot of those questions. But I think the most fun for me today was just to see everyone's like reaction videos, and when they were finally opened and you got to see your skein. And there was lots of posts too with cast on, and that was really fun for me to see. Just, it's out there, it's happening, everybody's knitting with it now, and that's just really, really fun from my point of view, knowing what this yarn has looked like for so many months, and now it's finally there, it's finally open, and we're all going to knit it together. So I'm just about to sit down with the kids and watch a movie. I did just open my advent calendar. I treated myself to a Nespresso coffee advent this year, so I'm having that in my Chicago mug. And I also treated myself to the a little bit of a fun mummy advent. I haven't even broken into this yet, so I'll do that later. But those were the two that I've sort of, hold on, I have one more. I am not sure how I could possibly forget this one. I had ordered myself a yarn advent calendar, and it's still in the shipping bag. So let me just see if I can get it out here. So this is the 2020 advent calendar by my friend Dianne at Surburban Stitcher. And I didn't open it because I knew I would be too tempted to see what was inside. So let's see if I can find the first one. So this is the first one. Let's see. Okay, this is really pretty. How fun is this? Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? See, this is a very, very different way than how I typically dye, so it's so fun for me to see these kinds of colorways from other dyers. And Diane is such a sweetheart, so when I saw her advent calendar up, I'm like, I have to have that. So I don't usually do mini skein advent calendars because I never really know what to do with them. And my cozy memory blanket, well, I haven't gotten a lot of work done on it. But for this, I was thinking I might do a habitation throw, which I think was the advent project from Curious Handmade last year, or I might do a cowl, or I might try the, I think it's called a northeasterly blanket. So we'll see. We'll see. Once I've opened up a few more of these, we'll see what sort of strikes and what I feel like doing. But I really like this. This is so pretty. And I did make just a tiny little bit of progress on my cuff today. It's been, like I said, so busy. I really had a lot of work to get done today, but I did get a little bit more work done on my cuff. I think I have 3 or 4 more rows to do, and we're just about to sit down with the kids and watch a Christmas movie. So my plan is to finish it then, and I did get my yarn wound up, my cakes. So a couple of people have asked which end to start at. So one of the colors is a little bit of a chameleon, and that's the one you're not supposed to start with, but in some skeins they look more similar than others. So the one you're supposed to start with is this darker purple, and the second stripe is red. So that's the end, but I mean, if you started at the other end, it's not a big deal. You can start however you'd like, but that is where I'm going to start. And I'm hoping to get that done tonight while we watch our movie. We have decided to watch one Christmas movie every night in the month of December. We actually cheated and started the first Sunday of Advent with Home Alone 1, which is one of our family favorites. And then yesterday we watched Home Alone 2, and I believe tonight the kids voted that we'll watch the third one. So that's happening tonight, so I should be able to get this stripe done then. And then we'll see which other movies we get up to. We had a we made a list the other day where we wrote down all the different favorite Christmas movies that we had to watch, and then filled in with a few that we haven't seen yet, some of the new ones that are out for this year. So that should be really fun, just a fun way to wind down before the kids are off to bed. But I will leave you here, and I hope you had a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.